So we're now at step 3 of how to do final accounts for a sole trader. Step 1, we laid out the blank document. Step 2, we dealt with the adjustments that were given down the bottom of the question. And step 3, what we're doing is we're putting all of the other numbers in. Now, what I want to do is just have a look and see how much have we done so far. What of the numbers have we actually dealt with? Because we've already got a lot of marks for ourselves. We didn't do purchase or sales yet, or general expenses, or wages, salaries, no. Stock, we didn't put in. Rent, yeah, we dealt with rent. Yeah, that's been dealt with. Showroom expenses, no. Returns, carriage, goodwill, discount received. Advertising, yeah, we dealt with advertising. We dealt with stationery. We dealt with provision for bad debts. We dealt with debtors. We didn't deal with creditors. We didn't deal with drawings. We dealt with buildings, equipment, motor vehicles, accumulated depreciation on motor vehicles and equipment. We dealt with term loan, and we didn't deal with the rest of it. So we've dealt with an awful lot of the numbers already. So now what we're doing is we're going to the other numbers we didn't touch, and we're going to put those numbers in because those numbers don't need to be changed. So start off with purchases and sales. So sales goes up here, 780. Purchases goes on over here, 240. Now normally I would have sales in the right hand column and purchase here in the middle, but we move one column to the left because there may be an adjustment because of returns. So we'll see that now as we go through the question. But even if you put it over here, if you put it into the column it should normally be in, you're still getting marks once you put it into the question, into the structure. General expense is 33 grand, so that's an administration expense. Wages and salaries 98 grand, so that's an administration expense, and it's 98. Carriage inwards, so that's carriage, so that's transport, getting goods delivered into me. So these are goods that I bought, okay, so that's going to be to do with purchases, so I'll put that in here as the cost of goods sold. If it was carriage out, that would be a delivery expense. So carriage in is, where are we now? Okay, so carriage inwards is 3 grand. Returns out, so that's goods that I had bought and I return them back out of my warehouse. So that's purchases returns. And the amount of money is 5.7. Stocks, first to the first. So that's opening stock is 38 grand. Rent, 24 grand dealt with. Showroom expenses, 16,500. So that's to do with selling goods. So that's the distribution expense. Returns in, so those are goods that I sold that are now being returned back into my warehouse, so that's to do with sales. Okay. Carriage out, so that's me delivering goods out to my customers, so that's a distribution expense and it's 12 grand. Goodwill, so in the fixed assets we've got tangible, so these are the things we can touch, buildings, equipment, etc. Financial fixed assets would be investments if we've got bank accounts for long periods of time, and intangible fixed assets is the likes of goodwill. So goodwill, 20 grand, and just so we remember, goodwill is the reputation, the regular repeat customers that we get for our business, and that's actually worth something. People pay extra money for a business because it's got a good reputation. Discount received, so that's an income, okay, because it's in the credit column, so it's the way we receive money. So I'll put it in here with add other incomes. Advertising we dealt with, stationery we dealt with, provision for bad debts we dealt with, debtors we dealt with, but not creditors. Creditors is 54 grand, so I'll put those in now. Okay, so then we have drawings. So I haven't dealt with drawings, so that goes down the finance buy section. So that's minus 13 grand. check the number, yeah, is 13 grand. So buildings, equipment, motor vehicles, and accumulated depreciation I've dealt with, term loan I have, so VAT. So VAT and PRSI, usually they're money that I've collected that I owe to the government, but sometimes I might be owed a refund from the government, so that would be an asset. If I owe it to the government, it's a liability, a current liability in both cases. So in this case, both of them are in the credit column, so both of them then be current liabilities. So we have VAT and we have PRSI. So the VAT number is 3680 and PRSI is 12300. Okay. Bank is in the debit column, 14400. So that's money that we have in the bank. It's an asset. It's not a bank overdraft, which would be a liability if it was in the credit column. So 14400 bank. And the last number then is capital. So the capital then goes down to finance by, and that is 291,090. 291,090. So we now have all of the numbers, the other numbers in the question. So the first bit, when we dealt with the adjustments, we dealt with some of these numbers, and the numbers we dealt with, because we had to do some calculations, we would have got a lot of marks for step 2. Okay, when we deal with the adjustments. So now we're on to step 3. We've just finished step 3. We've taken all of the other numbers that weren't adjusted and we put those straight into the question. And then from there, we're ready to do our maths.